In a riveting turn of events, the head honcho at Ford Motor Company is demanding answers in the Christian Horner probe, reaching out to the Red Bull Racing squad in a heated letter. What could this mean for a partnership that hasn't even taken off? Earlier this month, shocking revelations surfaced regarding Christian Horner, the stalwart figure in Formula One as the sport's longest-standing team principal. Allegations of misconduct by a Red Bull staff member have been swirling around, firmly denied by Horner himself. On February 9, Horner faced investigators head-on, setting the stage for a dramatic showdown. Despite the looming scrutiny, he boldly graced the stage at Red Bull's RB20 car launch on February 15, and made his mark at the preseason testing in Bahrain just this week. In a twist of fate, Ford's strategic alliance with Red Bull for F1's forthcoming regulations in 2026 has been thrust into the spotlight. The Associated Press, claiming access to exclusive intel, reports that Ford CEO Jim Farley penned a compelling letter urging closure to the ongoing saga. In a scathing letter dated Friday, Farley didn't mince words, expressing his discontent over the lingering cloud of allegations surrounding Red Bull Racing's leadership. Farley highlighted the 11-day wait since Ford's initial inquiry into the investigation announced by Red Bull's parent company on Feb 5. Initially painted as an internal probe into Horner's assertive managerial tactics, the narrative has now taken a sharp turn towards reports of misconduct, with Red Bull maintaining a tight lid on any public disclosures. The stakes are high, especially considering Ford's imminent role as Red Bull's engine supplier come 2026. As we have indicated previously, without satisfactory response, Ford's values are non-negotiable, Farley wrote in the letter. It is imperative that our racing partners share and demonstrate a genuine commitment to those same values. My team and I are available at any time to discuss this matter. We remain insistent on, and hopeful, for a resolution we can all stand behind. Farley's letter paints a picture of mounting frustration over the sluggish pace of the investigation. Despite the bombshell dropped by Red Bull's Austrian parent company about probing misconduct allegations, Horner has maintained his position at the helm of the reigning world champions. While the investigation simmers, Horner has been anything but sidelined, making notable appearances at the recent launch of the 2024 car, and joining the team for a week of rigorous testing in Bahrain. With the F1 season on the brink of ignition next weekend, Horner is firm in his stance, expecting to retain his title as team principal. Farley says that while Ford does believe that the investigation is being conducted fairly, the company is quote-unquote increasingly frustrated, however, by the lack of resolution or clear indication from you about when you anticipate a fair and just resolution of this matter. We are likewise frustrated by the lack of full transparency surrounding this matter with us, your corporate partners, and look forward to receiving a complete account of all findings. If Horner comes out on top, it might paint a picture of a silenced female figure, seemingly powerless and silenced, and if the veteran F1 team boss gets the boot, you can bet he'll be appealing it, despite all the noise calling for his resignation up until now. With Formula One putting a big spotlight on inclusivity these days, they've got to walk the talk, even if it means making tough calls. Regardless of where the information came from, the fact that this issue has been lingering in the public eye for over 3 weeks now is not doing any favors for those looking to hold Horner accountable. The rumblings from partners and other stakeholders in the F1 community are only adding to the pressure. It's becoming increasingly evident that there are rifts within the upper ranks of the Red Bull hierarchy regarding this issue. If there was unity behind the scenes, Ford would have likely received a more satisfactory response to their inquiries. Farley's comments seem to take aim at the handling of the chaotic process that Horner finds himself entangled in, rather than targeting the Red Bull boss himself. This could potentially work in Horner's favor, especially if he's cleared of any wrongdoing, as he can then openly engage with Red Bull's technology partner for the upcoming 2026 power units. As of now, Formula One has stayed mum on the issue, but they've recently urged Horner's accusers to wrap up their investigation and disclose their findings without further delay. They said, "We have noted that Red Bull has instigated an independent investigation into internal allegations at Red Bull Racing. We hope that the matter will be clarified at the earliest opportunity, after a fair and thorough process, and we will not comment further at this time." Farley and Horner have a solid rapport, known to share a good relationship. Last year, the Red Bull bigwig spoke glowingly about Ford's contributions, highlighting a crucial distinction. Unlike Porsche, Ford is now pushing for more control, a move that's not going unnoticed. It looks like the move to push out Christian Horner is hitting a roadblock. The rifts at the upper echelons of the energy drinks empire are causing a snag, as they can't seem to agree on what information should be shared confidentially with key partners like Ford. If there were any plans to swiftly remove Christian Horner from the scene, they clearly weren't well thought out, as a quick resolution seems to be slipping further away. They're not trying to tell us how to run our business, or they're not involved from a shareholding perspective. And it's been a very, very conducive relationship so far. In more racing-focused news, if you were planning on betting against Red Bull, you might want to hold off on that for another season. McLaren's team boss Andrea Stella couldn't help but express his amazement at the sight of the Red Bull RB20, admitting it made him go wow. But the anticipated edge Red Bull might hold over the competition could stem from what remains hidden. The anticipation surrounding Red Bull's entry into the F1 2024 season was already sky high, especially after their jaw-dropping performance in the previous campaign, clinching victory in 21 out of 22 Grands Prix. But now, with their unexpected concept switch with the RB20, the intrigue has reached fever pitch. While competitors have drawn inspiration from Red Bull's dominant design during the ground effect era for the 2024 Challengers, Red Bull has shifted the goalposts with the RB20. Its design looks radically different from anything else seen on the track for the upcoming new season. Red Bull's departure from the norm certainly caught many in the F1 paddock off guard. Andrea Stella was baffled upon seeing the RB20 for the first time. While Red Bull's innovations are undeniably bold, Stella believes their dominance in 2023, which allowed them to shift focus to the RB20 mid-season, has given them the confidence to venture into this new territory with the luxury of time on their side. Stella told the media, "I have to say, when I saw the car, I was like, wow, they certainly were brave in changing some of the shapes that made the car so successful last year. I think they could enjoy such an advantage last year. That gave them the confidence from a timeline point of view to take some risks, because I can take these risks early on to actually see whether it works." Despite Ferrari setting the pace during preseason testing in Bahrain, the prevailing sentiment in the F1 paddock is that Red Bull has once again emerged as the fastest team. Stella cautioned that the keys to Red Bull's leap forward might not be visible on the surface, but rather lie in how the RB20 is performing underneath. What I would say though, is that while there is innovation that we can see microscopically, in these regulations, a lot is in the millimeters, and what happens in what we don't see between the underneath of the car and the ground. So, while this could be the most visible, not necessarily it's the most impactful in terms of the step forward they made. What do you think? With the new upgrades, how dominant will the RB20 be this season? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.